What's going on, everyone? Rough game. Rough game to say the least, all right? Thunder, like, I don't want to say it looked like they were in control majority of the time, because I don't think they were. When you look at how they were playing, some of the, down the stretch, shooting wise, horrible. Offensively, not a good game whatsoever. I'm going to be honest. Like, offensively, that team is not the Thunder team I'm used to seeing in this playoffs, sure, yeah. But overall, we got to be better offensively. Defensively, look great. The fact you forced 26 turnovers, if I have it correctly, I have the box score pulled up. 24 turnovers. The fact you forced 24 turnovers against a team that, you look at it, they don't turn the ball over a ton. The fact you did that, that's impressive. But you have to score off those turnovers, and offensively, you have to be better if you're Thunder. All right? You have to be better. Looking at it shooting wise, shot below 40% from the field. All right. We took 16 more shots than the Pacers, yet we made the same amount. They did shoot 9 more threes than us and made, 18. We made 11 threes. Overall, 36.7%, almost 37%. You can live with that from 3. You can win a lot of games shooting that. 39%, the fact we almost shot the same amount from the field as 3, you can't do that. You can't. Just fact of the matter, you cannot do that. This team needs to be shooting 46, 47% from the field if they want to win. All right? That's like the fact of the matter. You have to shoot better. I think that's the biggest thing from this game. Offensively, you have to be better if you're Oklahoma City. You have to be better. Okay? And it's not just, it was one person. Overall, everyone besides Shai and Dort have to be better offensively. Dort had the game of his life. 5 of 9 from deep. All right, he finished with 15 points there. He had 4 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds as well. He was doing work on the boards offensively, doing his thing. 4 steals as well. Shai did his thing. He had 3 steals, went 14 of 30. 3 of 6 from 3. Only had 8 free throws, 7 of 8. So, Shai did his thing. Shai did his thing. He had 38 points. This is not on Shai. This is not on Dort. It isn't even on Alex Caruso. Yeah, he went 3 of 8, 1 of 4 from deep, but he had 6 rebounds for us, 2 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. He did everything he could. You'll take 3 of 8 from Caruso. You will. Hartenstein did his thing, 3 of 5 from the field. Okay, 9 rebounds, 9 points. This is the one thing I will say. And I threw that poll up right there. All right, was benching Hartenstein the move right now? 67% of you guys say no. I don't think it was the right move either. I get he struggled against Minnesota. I get that 100%. But I'm looking at the stats right here. In 17 minutes, he got you 9 points and 9 rebounds. I better see him back in the starting lineup for game 2. I love Cason Wallace to death. I do. I think he was a steal in that 2023 draft. I am glad we traded for him instead of keeping Derek Lively. I am happy that we did that, but 3 of 9, 0 for 3 from deep. Okay. Didn't really do a ton either defensively. Finished with a minus 13. I think he's just better suited coming off the bench. Truly, saying that, seeing what he's done in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he's been great coming off the bench. In the regular season, when he came off the bench, he looked good as well. Okay. I just think he needed to come off the bench, have Hartenstein start. And if you want to go smaller, why not have Caruso start? He's the better player between him and Cason Wallace. I get you want Caruso coming off the bench for, the non-Dort minutes. I'd rather have Cason Wallace coming off the bench for the non-Dort minutes. Okay? And I see some of you guys talking about it as well. I promise I'm going to try to read some of your chats and everything. Okay? I promise. Do whatever you can to make sure I see them. But we got out-rebounded. Okay, 39 rebounds to 56. There's no reason for that. Hartenstein was our leading rebounder with 9, and he only played 17 minutes. He was boxing out. He was grabbing those boards, fighting. He got us 2 offensive rebounds as well. Why was he not in there more? Chet Holmgren had a bad game, 2 of 9 from the field, 6 rebounds. He did have a block, but, he's offensively, he's got to be better. He's got to be better. AJ Mitchell got 4 minutes, and I see people talking about why did he play more than Kenrich Williams? Why didn't J Will play? Okay, I think we're trying to match their pace, go fast. I think that was the big thing, trying to match their pace of going fast, doing whatever we can. to match what they're going to do offensively. I get it. But then again, also, I would have been fine giving those 4 minutes to someone else. Give those 4 minutes to Hartenstein so we have that, okay? Okay, like, I get you have faith in the guy there. We ended up playing 11 guys. The Pacers ended up playing 10, so not really much of a difference. The reason that they played 10, though, when it really should have been 9, is because we got some of their guys in foul trouble. So they had to put in Thomas Bryant, who's usually not going to play like this, okay? Some of the coaching decisions, I did not understand. A lot of people were like, oh my goodness, thank God we went away from the double big. Cason Wallace is starting. What? Yippee. You don't want to do that against the Pacers. The Pacers have one of the worst paint defenses in the NBA. So why not live off of that and have Hartenstein start and have him go to work? This is a game Hartenstein could have had like 18 points. That's one of those games Hartenstein could have had 18 and 13, 14 rebounds. This was one of those games which would open up the field more for guys like Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams to get more easy shots. That's my point with it. Hartenstein should be starting over Cason Wallace in this series. Cason Wallace, if you wanted to start him, it should have been against the Timberwolves. Okay, because we weren't going to fight with them down low. You wanted to go off of guard play against Timberwolves, and we did that, and look what happened. We won in 5. If you go double big against the Pacers, who have no interior, defense whatsoever. Yeah, Miles Turner is good as a rim protector, but that's all they got, really. Thomas Bryant, you're telling me Thomas Bryant is going to be going to hold it down against guys like Hartenstein and Holmgren? No, you need Hartenstein to play more. Plain and simple, Hartenstein needs to be starting in this series. And I said it at the beginning of the year as well, and people call me crazy saying, you paid this much money for Hartenstein, saying him not to start. There are certain teams you don't want him starting against because it is a mismatch. It creates, mismatches for the Thunder that are going to make him lose. This is one of those games you want him to start because it creates a mismatch for the Pacers. Corner threes are a big issue. Kind of. I can see that, kind of. Okay, yeah. I mean, Obi Toppin, name me another game he's going 5 of 8 from 3. Name me another game he's doing that. He's not. He isn't. We shut down Halliburton for the most part. 6 of 13, 2 of 7 from 3. Okay, they didn't have a single player above 20 points. We did what we had to do defensively. We did. It's just you gotta get points off of all those turnovers. I think the team only had 11 or 13 points off turnovers, and we forced 24. You gotta at least get 20. At the least get 20. It's just, there's so much stuff that goes into this that ended up making them lose this game. And the fact that the Thunder still played this bad and only lost by 1, I see as a positive. Offensively, they played horrible. And they still only lost by 1 point. Why doesn't SGA check in the fourth quarter when we're up 15? Coaching issue? No. Why would you want him in at that point? If I'm going to be honest, I don't blaming Mark for this is not the problem. That's not the solution for it. That's not the reason the Thunder lost this game. Mark Daigneault is not the issue. The issue is Chet going 2 of 9 and Dub going 6 of 19. That's the issue. Jalen Williams, he is an all NBA caliber player. Second option for this team. He can't go 6 of 19 in the games that you have to win now. These are games you have to win. Okay? You have to win, every single finals game you go out there. You need to go out there and try to win. Okay? In 36 minutes, 6 of 19, 1 of 4 from deep. He's just got to be better. He truly does. This is not on Mark saying, why didn't SGA play for the entire fourth quarter? If you've watched Thunder games this year, you will realize SGA doesn't start the fourth quarters. How it goes is he plays all the first quarter, okay? Then he sits for 4 to 5 minutes the second quarter, plays for the rest of that, plays the entirety of the third quarter, and then if it is a close game, he will play the entirety of the fourth quarter. And if it isn't, like you're up 15, you have to have faith in your guys to handle business and keep it there. And if it gets down to an 8-point game, like we saw happen, then you check SGA back in to help you guys out. That's what the rotation is, and that's what it's always been. This is like I said, this is not a Mark Daigneault problem. This is not anything like that. Mark's starting lineup was the reason we lost. I don't think it's starting. No, I don't think that's the reason. Chet plays bad when he's no, like guys, Mark is not the issue. Mark is not the issue. Okay? Plain and simple. Do you expect Mark to be the reason a Dub goes 6-19? No. That's not a Mark Daigneault thing, okay? It isn't. This is the same scapegoat people use in the series against the Mavericks last year. Mark Daigneault is the scapegoat for some reason. When he's not that's not the issue when you look at it. He's the Mark Daigneault's the reason the Thunder went 39% from the field. Nah, he's not. Mark Daigneault's the reason we only had 11 points off of 26 turnovers. No. That's not the problem. Do I think there could be some adjustments? Yes. Okay. But Mark Daigneault is not the sole reason the Thunder lost game 1 of the finals. I am tired of hearing this excuse. Dub and Chet played like crap. That is the main reason the Thunder lost. Your second and third options combined for 23 points. They went a combined 8 of 28 from the field. Your second and third options. You're not going to win any game doing that. You're not. Plain, that's fact of the matter. You're not going to win any game when your second and third options go combined 8 of 28. Yeah, he rarely ever starts the fourth quarter unless it's a super close game. We're down by 3 or we're up by 3. All right? If we're up by double digits like we were yesterday, he doesn't start the fourth quarter. Because why would you have him play 24 straight minutes and have him get gassed there? Yeah, I agree with you, Matthew. I'd rather not. I'd rather him not do that. Just looking at these stats here, defensively, we played great. Playmaking-wise, we do have to be better passing the ball. Okay? 13 assists? No. Can't do that. We need to get close to 20 assists a game. Really pass it. All right? Open up some lanes. Open up some driving lanes. And do I think Hartenstein fixes that problem a little bit? Yes, I do. I do think he needs to play more. I think he needs to go back in the starting lineup. I will say that. I think that's the only, bad really decision I saw Mark make was Hartenstein not starting. I will say that. Okay? But then again, the fans, we have all been yelling past week or two, get Hartenstein out of the starting lineup, put Cason Wallace there, put Alex Caruso. We do that and all of a sudden it's all in Mark's fault again? We can't have this, hypocrisy going on about it. Make up your mind about it. Is it Mark's fault or is it not? All right? When Mark makes the changes that we all wanted as fans to make, all of a sudden it's, it's once again Mark's fault? No. It's not. It's you can't, Mark Daigneault's not the reason Dub went 6-19. Jalen Williams is the reason Jalen Williams went 6-19 from the field. Use Kinrich? I don't think so. No. I don't think they needed to go small. All right? Even then, the small ball lineup they had, that usually works. That usually works. Oh, yes, because 4 minutes of A.J. Mitchell is the reason we lost this game. 4 minutes of A.J. Mitchell is the reason we lost. 100%. Mm-hmm. When he had 3 offensive rebounds for us and we didn't score in any of those possessions, 100%. 100%. I'm sorry, but that's not, we keep on scapegoating Mark Daigneault as the problem here. Mark Daigneault is not the problem. It isn't. Jay Will not playing is a terrible decision. I'm being honest, what difference would he have made? I'm going to be completely honest. I love Jay Will to death. He's one of my favorite players on this team, and I hope he's a Thunder for the rest of his career. But what difference is he going to make in this game? Some of these reasons, it's not Mark Daigneault's fault. It isn't. You go with the guys that you're hot in the end right there if you wanted to go small ball, and Chet was not hot. He wasn't, so I'm fine with him being out of the game. 100%. Okay? Scott, if we're using that excuse, so is Jalen Williams. So is Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren's in his second year and he's starting. J-Dub's in his third year and he's starting. Inexperience is not a problem. J-Will was big against the Nuggets, yes. When the Nuggets thrive, the thing with J-Will against the Nuggets is the fact that he is a perfect matchup against Nikola Jokic for defense. He's not a perfect matchup against a Miles Turner or Pascal Siakam on defense, which are guys he would have guarded. That's the problem right there. Indiana is a bad rebounding team. We should go for the double big. Yes, Hartenstein should. Wiggins and Joe were out at the same time as AJ Mitchell, so I don't get what you're trying to say there. I don't get what you're trying to say there. Jay Will's a small ball center. Yeah, but you want him to be put in there in clutch crunch time right there when he hadn't played the entire game, when he hasn't gotten up a shot in however long? Like, that just doesn't make sense. You don't do that as a coach. You don't. Oh, let me throw in this guy when we have 4 minutes left. We're losing this lead right here who hasn't played at all because I'm going small ball. No. Like I said, Mark Daigneault is not the reason. Stop making these excuses for saying Mark Daigneault was a bad coach. He got out-coached, all right? Did he make some, questionable calls? The only questionable call, in my opinion, was Hartenstein not starting. But that didn't lose you the game because we had the lead for 40-something minutes. We had the lead for 47 minutes and 59 seconds. The Pacers got the lead at the very end there. Okay? The reasons we lost was because we couldn't make a shot. Our second option went 6 of 19. Our third option went 2 of 9. And then you can't just have 11 points off of turnovers when you force 24 and 18 in the first half. You can't do that. That's the problem. You expect the coach to be the reason that your guys are missing layups in transition? No, it's not. I don't think this was an experiment with the lineup, Michael. I don't think it was. Cason Wallace started a majority of the season with Chet and Hartenstein out. He started majority of the season, so we know he's a good starter. I think you said it best, Crum. Billy Donovan was stubborn. Mark is 10 times better with his rotations. This is the best coach the Thunder have ever had. We had Billy Donovan, for crying out loud, who had horrible rotations. I don't understand why it's the Mark Daigneault is the problem excuse. He isn't. He's not the problem. The problem is when your second and third options go quiet like this in these crucial games. Like, that's the problem. You can't lead the whole game, then all of a sudden just die out there at the end. You can't do that. And part of that is because, they couldn't make, shots that they usually make. That right there. Then also, you couldn't get buckets on the second chance opportunities and on turnovers. Dude, Q, I never said Mark did nothing wrong. I literally said the only problem I had with Mark, and this is something I think he said did wrong, was Hartenstein not starting. You're making it seem like I'm saying Mark is never the problem, that he's a perfect little angel and he can't make any mistakes. I literally called him out on that mistake just now, saying Hartenstein should have started. That's... I don't understand. Mark, yes, he made a mistake not having Hartenstein start. The rotation, I don't have a problem with, necessarily. I don't. Isaiah Joe played great this game. He played great. 2 of 3. He was playing some good defense as well. What do you mean Kenrich or Jay Will should have played over him? No, he shouldn't have. Aaron Wiggins played great as well. Alex Caruso played great. Hartenstein played great. All right. Really, that's a 4-man rotation you should have off the bench. Cason Wallace should be coming off the bench. Hartenstein should be starting. Joe was not a problem. Joe, the rotation wasn't necessarily a problem. The only problem that I had with Mark's game plan was Hartenstein not starting and having him in there. And that's the only problem I had. But the rotation, everything else, that's not necessarily, a bad thing that he had. The rotation looked good, in my opinion. Lineup changes. Cason Wallace started over half the games this season. What do you mean lineup changes? This is the same problem ESPN was talking about last night. They're saying Cason Wallace has never started this year. In the playoffs, he hasn't started. Yeah, but he's always been the first guy off the bench and started majority of the season. Like, it's absurd what you guys kind of like buy into the ESPN facts here. And it's not even facts. That's just opinions that they have because they don't watch the games. Better baskets. What do you mean, Shai? Going to in the clutch there. You want Shai taking those shots. I had no problems with the shots he was drawing up for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because that's what he was drawing up there at the end. Just being honest, it's Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren were the biggest problems in that game. They did not play good whatsoever. This whole Mark Daigneault scapegoat problem is the thing I'm not happy with right now. Acting like Mark Daigneault's the reason we lost this game. He isn't. It's a collective effort. Would Hartenstein starting one of this game? Probably. Would J-Dub not disappearing off the planet, face of the planet, help us out? Yeah. Same with Chet? Yeah. Like, come on. These are just BS excuses you guys have. Stop blaming the coach. That's the reason Tibbs got fired. Was Tibbs the reason the Knicks lost? No. He was not the reason the Knicks lost in those against the Pacers. He was not the reason. But yet, fans scapegoated him for the reason. Players scapegoated him as the reason as well. And so he got fired. He's not the reason the Knicks lost. So why are we acting like this is a Tibbs situation? It's not on Mark. If Chet and J-Dub play their game and Thunder still lose, then what? Okay. Here's I'm going to draw this up for you. If Chet and J-Dub played their game like they usually do in this game, the Thunder won by almost 20. Chet goes 5 of 9 with 2 threes. Okay. That's another 6, 8 points right there. So it makes 118 to 111. Dub goes 11 of 19 with another 3 there. So you add in 3 plus 8, 11 points there. 118 plus 11, 119, 129. You win 129 to 111. Those guys played their game. A loss isn't even in the thoughts. Good on, he was all right on defense. He was all right. Only 6 rebounds, though. What do you mean good on the boards? What do you mean? He only played 24 minutes as well. I just don't get it. I don't get how it's a Mark Daigneault problem when it wasn't a Mark Daigneault problem in this game. It's absurd. This is like I said, Daigneault's not the problem for this loss. If one of Dub and Chet showed to be different, Shai can't do everything. Yeah. Fact of the matter. You can't have your second option go 6 and 19. That's what I said. It's, like I said, Daigneault's not the problem for this loss, and I don't understand why people keep on blaming him for it. It's not. He just won Coach of the Year last year. All right, he was in the runnings for it again this year. He won you 68 games because of his rotations, how he played guys with the most injured team in the league. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's exactly it right there. Like I said, we need to stop scapegoating Mark and saying he's the problem with it when, 2 of your top 3 go stagnant, like you said. That's the thing. If Chet Holmgren makes one more shot, Thunder win. If Dub makes one more shot, Thunder win. If Cason Wallace made one more shot, Thunder win. if we actually get a bucket or two more off these offensive rebounds that we had for the second chance opportunities. Like AJ Mitchell busted his ass for 2 offensive rebounds in the same possession, and we didn't get a bucket off of it. Had 11 points off of 24 turnovers. Like, how is that on Mark? How is that on Mark Daigneault right there? You expect Mark to go out there and make the shots? Come on now. Come on, man. And like I said, defensively played great. Played great on defense. Nembhard went 4 of 11. Halliburton went 2 of 7 from 3. That's good. Guard him on the perimeter. Like their leading scorer was Siakam with 19. They didn't have a single guy over 20. And then all of a sudden, Obi Toppin, like someone mentioned earlier, turned into prime Steph Curry. Like, in 25 minutes, he went 5 of 8 from 3. Name me, like, he's not doing that again. He isn't. He's not doing that again. That was a random game from him. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, we had a 12-14 point lead. And I think some of it was because we got comfortable with the lead. We didn't, we pressed, we put our foot on the brake a little bit, and then we just, let it go. There's an article out right now talking about the Cason Wallace starting decision by Clemente. I'm going to read it. Look, like, I get we love J. Will, all right? He helped out in the Nuggets series. I don't know how much he helps out in the Pacers series, though. I'm going to be honest, I don't, because he's not a center that's, mainly getting his points from inside. He's a center who's mainly getting his points on pick and pops on the 3-point line or mid-range. He's not attacking down low, so I don't see what he's really going to do for us offensively and defensively. This just isn't a good matchup for him in the series. He's not a good matchup against the Pacers. Hartenstein's a good matchup because they have one of the worst paint defenses, so you have him go down there. Driving in with guys like Shai, Caruso, and Dub, those are good matchups because they aren't very good at guarding in the paint. Like I said, for some reason, Dub just went AWOL. Like, I don't get it. So I'm reading the article right now for the Cason Wallace decision. He shot 3 times. Yeah, because that's the reason we lost. His 4 minutes missing 3 shots but getting us 3 offensive rebounds when he never took the shot on those 3 offensive rebounds are the reason the Thunder lost. You're 100% right, man. Maybe you should be the executive. Maybe you should be the general manager. So reading the Cason Wallace decision, since so many of you guys hate it, even though a lot of people in the Thunder community were begging for Cason Wallace to start over Hartenstein in that Minnesota Timberwolves series and kept on talking about it and praised Mark Daigneault at the start of the game for starting Cason Wallace, okay? And then all of a sudden now hating it. The lineup data suggests the Thunder play better with Holmgren at the center. Meanwhile, the Holmgren-Hartenstein has been a positive lineup, but only by a slim margin. Early on, the gutsy decision paid off. The Thunder caused havoc. The Indiana Pacers turned the ball over at a historic clip. They had 19 turnovers in the first half. They finished with 25. Yep, they only scored 11 points off turnovers. Only scored 11 points when you forced 25 turnovers. You're not going to win any game doing that. So I'm reading this article, guys. Austin, I'm talking about the entirety community, the entirety Thunder community as a whole. Reddit pages, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, every single page out there. All right? When I saw that Hartenstein was on the bench and Cason Wallace was starting, that's all my feed was talking about. Like, thank God, finally, he made the right decision. Is it still the right decision now that the Thunder lost? Apparently not. That's the problem. And Kevin Durant said it best. He said it best a while back. You can never please any NBA fan. Never. No matter with what decision you make. No NBA fan is going to be happy. There's always going to be something wrong. There's always going to be something wrong with the NBA team, player, coach, whatever it may be. And you guys are proving this right now. You guys are proving it. I also hate how people are acting like this is, the end of the series as well. And it's not. The Thunder still have a very good chance of winning. All right? They have a very good chance of winning. Michael Jordan's first finals game, he missed a big shot at the end and lost game 1. He then went on to win the series 4-1. Just saying. Yeah, they made big shots down the stretch. We played great defense. All right? That's not on us. We played great defense. You also got to make your shots. Like I said, you cannot take how many more shots? You cannot take 16 more shots, but make the same amount. That, people, I don't get the, oh my goodness, this is Mark Daigneault's fault. We're the bad, for the starting lineup, AJ Mitchell playing 4 minutes of basketball. AJ Mitchell playing 4 minutes of basketball is the reason we lost for some reason, okay? When in reality, the reason we lost is because we shot 16 more shots than the Pacers, but made the same amount of shots. Plain and simple. Offensively, we were a bag of ass. We were a bag of ass offensively. Defensively, oh my goodness. This looked like one of the best defenses of all time. Against a Pacers team who has one of the best offenses in the NBA. Definitely in the playoffs. But for some reason, AJ Mitchell playing 4 minutes is the reason we lost. All right? That's the reason. Oh, man. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. I also don't want to scapegoat on the free throw numbers either. We shot 33 pointers. All right, so that means we shot 68 field goals. We drove a ton, trying to get inside. Okay. The Pacers, we only shot 3 more free throws than the Pacers, and the Pacers, almost half their shots were threes. Just saying, there is a little bit of a discrepancy there when you look at the amount of times we drove and how many shots we took. So, our offense doesn't need all 3. This game proves our offense doesn't need all 3. Our offense just needs 2 out of 3. You're going to have bad nights. That's natural. You can't expect everyone to be 100% every single game. You're going to have off nights. That's just how sports go across all professional leagues out there. You're going to have a bad night. It happens. So what? Wash it. I'm just saying you need 2 out of the 3 guys. You don't need 3 out of the 3. You need 2 out of the 3 guys. If Chet Holmgren showed up along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Thunder win. If Jalen Williams showed up alongside Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the Thunder win. Chet dribbling's also not a bad thing. You realize he has a good handle. He knows how to use it well. He usually does. You can't take one game of bad play and say he needs to stop doing this, he needs to stop doing that, when he thrives doing this kind of stuff. You can't say that. Just I'm trying to get it out here for you guys to kind of realize there are multiple reasons we lost this game. You don't need to pin it on one person. See what Twitter's saying. See what's going on Twitter. Not really seeing anything going on. Exactly. When does a team lose a team? Also, yeah, long rest is horrible. Look at the long rest we had between that Grizzlies series and the Denver series. We lost on a buzzer beater there too, and everyone acted like this as well. Everyone acted like the series was over. Fire Mark, trade Dub, all this stuff. We went on to win in 7, and we blow out the other team in game 2. I'm expecting something very similar the next game. That's a great example you just had. It's very, like, I love the baseball example there. It's like when a pitcher had a great outing, who had a great outing but can't get run support. Exactly. All right. Defense showed up offensively. We weren't there. We lost both games that we had long rests. Yep. I agree. Just looking at more stuff. But Shai really did have a masterclass last night. I will say that. I love how people also were saying, oh, Shai's a horrible point guard. He couldn't get his guys going. He fed the ball to guys like Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren on open opportunities, and they just missed. All right. If we make our open shots, Shai has like 8 assists that game. This really was for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to do this in his first finals game ever, having 38, 5, and 3, along with 3 steals, almost shooting 50% from the field. Can't get much better. Yeah, that might be it. You might be right, Austin. Trying to see more stuff on Twitter. Yeah, not seeing much else. Yeah, I'm not seeing much else on Twitter. No one else going crazy. I still have Thunder in 5. I'm going to be honest. I still have Thunder in 5. This is one of the worst offensive games we've seen from the Thunder, and this is what they usually do defensively. Like I said, you show up offensively, Indiana's not beating you. All right? They aren't. We just got to show up offensively. It's not even a shoot 50% from the field. It's a shoot 44% from the field. Make 5 or 6 more shots. You win by 10. That's the difference right there. And I said this at the beginning as well. Like when the series was made up here, I didn't think there was ever going to be a blowout in this series. I think every game was going to be close. I thought every game would have been close. I don't think there's really going to be any true blowouts. Only really if there was one in the series on a game like this, coming back and responding in game 1. That's the only blowout I could see happening. It was going to be close the entire time. You got to get 4 wins, exactly. You got to get 4. They're just ahead by 1 win right now. But look, everyone said the same thing after Denver stole game 1 in Oklahoma City. Denver's winning the series. Oklahoma City's out. They're frauds. They're never going to do anything. Look what happened in that series. Look what happened. It's every single time the Thunder lose, all of a sudden the Thunder are frauds. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. I think some of the Thunder hate is the fact that, they became so good so soon. I still have Thunder in 5. I still have it. Thunder in 5. Just like I said, the way the offense played last night, it's hard to win any game like that. And the fact that we almost did, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But that's all I got for the stream, guys. Just kind of breaking down what happened last night. I had a lot of thoughts on it. I wanted to see your guys' thoughts. Like I said, this is not a Mark Daigneault problem. This is not a, so-and-so should be traded. Why are we playing so-and-so? Going to be honest. If you still think the 4 minutes of A.J. Mitchell is the reason the Thunder lost, when he got you 3 offensive rebounds and your offense couldn't score on those, I'm going to be like, that's not the reason they lost. It isn't. The reason they lost comes down to 3 things. Hartenstein should be starting. I'll go in and say Mark, that's the bad thing Mark did. Hartenstein should be starting this series. Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren got to be better offensively. You can't go a combined 8 of 28 from the field as the second and third options. You got to score more off turnovers. 11 points off of 24 turnovers, 25 turnovers. That doesn't cut it. You got to get close to 20 points off of 25 turnovers. You'd be scoring half the time on every single turnover. For every 2 turnovers, you should be scoring on 1. Those are 3 main things, all right? You fix those, you're winning in 5. You're not losing another game this series. But that's all I got for this, guys. Take care of yourself. Game 2, they should win. Easy. I have that, okay? That's all I got. See you guys in the next stream. Peace.